Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with, of course, Tunde Ajayi, head trainer for Anthony Yarde, and Ade Olayinka, part of the Yarde training team, it's fair to say, and a trainer in your own right, of course. Just want to get some reflections from you. It's the first time I've seen you guys since the big trip out to Chelyabinsk, and Yarde's...
You said it right.
Thank you very much, yeah. I'm trying to say something right today, you know. Yarde obviously gave a great account of himself. Didn't go your way in the end, but I think his stock rose as a result. Just tell us your reflections on the fight itself, and it obviously didn't go exactly how you wanted it, but what are the positives you're taking from it?
First of all, dream it, believe it, become it. All day, every day. All day, every day. You know that's how it starts, Dan.
We don't get weak.
That's it.
You get me? You know what it is. We don't get weak, we get deep. Time to show up, blow up.
Yes, sir. To ask you throw me now.
Interview over. That's all we need to say. Said all I need to say. That's it. No, go on. Positives from the fight.
Positives from the fight is one thing you cannot buy, borrow, or pretend to have is the experience. And the experience has done us good. You know, it's like I keep saying, we're a very young team. You know, Coach Ade, Cutman Cam, Bilal Ali, Derice, we just came into this. And already we're at the elite level of the sport. And let's get it right. That is and was the elite level of the sport. And it's all positives. There actually wasn't a negative in the fight. Well, there probably wasn't. I guess you can look for a negative. But for us, for me personally, and for the team Stamina for Sale, yeah, great positive. And for Anthony, you know, for a young man, a few years ago, me and him was jumping up and down outside Frank Warren's office. We're like, what, you paying us this kind of money to fight? You understand? And next thing, we're at the top of the sport. So.
Frank doesn't watch this because you're getting a pay cut for your next fight.
We want a pay rise, don't worry about that. Triple. But it's been a magnificent and a fantastic journey. And as I always say, I'm so happy for Ant. I'm proud of him. And I know he's going to fulfill his dreams. It was just something that, as I say, you couldn't buy that, you know, that night, that occasion, and he's going to learn through it. Ant's a winner, I'm a winner, Stamina for Sale's a winner, and yes, fantastic.
So, Ade, we'll come to you in a second, but one thing I want to ask you, because you raised the significance of experience in your first answer, is there a part of you now that regrets the fact that Anthony didn't have that kind of world-level fight before Kovalev? Could it have been different if he had in the year before, say?
Good question, and I'll answer it. No. Simple as that. No. You know you can't get me on that, Dan. I said it over and over again. Education, 99 times out of 100, can be experience. And that's what it was. That was the one-time experience reared its head. You already heard all the guys, all the naysayers that doubted us before the fight, that we shouldn't be there. We're not that level. How can you go from C to A class? After the fight, absolutely turn around and say what they said and said, you know what? I've got to take my hat off to Yarde and Tunde. They were right. They deserve to be at that level. And I told you, we got the education. System 9, Stamina for Soul. We have the education that has allowed us to get to the top of the sport in a short space of time. So no, listen, Nathan Kevin had experience. Didn't help him, did it? Bernard Hopkins had experience. Didn't help him. Jean Pascal had experience. Didn't help him. Nobody landed more punches on Sergey Kovalev in his whole career than Anthony Yarde. So that tells you we got something. And we're going to keep working as hard as we can.
Andy, let me ask you, it was a bit of a chess match. Kovalev probably slightly ahead going into that pivotal 8th round. Anthony rocked him. Crowd were obviously a bit worried, being a hometown crowd for Kovalev. What was your reaction in the corner? Did you think this was his moment? Did you think he was going to get it done in that round?
I don't think anyone, whether he was for us or against us, who didn't think that it was all over. Some people have come up to me afterwards and they said another 15 seconds, another 10 seconds, another 6 seconds. It could have been another second. And like Captain said, nothing can prepare you for when you're in that ring or that moment. We went out to Russia with probably 15, 20 man deep, and there was all this, oh, be wary of this, be wary of that. We ignored all of that. We had a job at hand, and we was fully out there to go and do the job. You know, it was a magnificent fight, and through all what people have said in the past and should they be there and so on and so on, I think people would totally admit to themselves now that Anthony, even though not having a world title belt right now, today, is amongst the world title holders in that division. So it's only a matter of time. And if you ask me, is there anything you would have done differently to take it back, rewind the clock? Not a thing. Because now we've put ourselves on the world stage. You know, we've jumped in 4 years what people take 14 years to. And we've done it in 4 years. And I say it again and again. 2015, we was in Wembley Arena at 4:30, first fight on, and there was 20 people there, and 12 of them were security. 2019, we're in Russia, Chelyabinsk, with 8,000 people, and what? Someone told me there was around close to 1 million people watching back home in the UK. That's not a joke. And, you know, Captain's made a lot of it as well. Anthony mentioned it a few times, but I'm just going to reiterate it. Sergey Kovalev had 16 world title fights. So that means he's been a champion for years to have world title. Anthony, at that time, had 18 professional fights. If you look at where Sergey Kovalev was, and all credit to him, 100% all credit to him and his team and the people who supported him, but if you look at where he was when he was on 18 fights and where Anthony is, he's now on 19 fights, you could have seen that why we was literally, and I mean, seconds away from taking the title.
Seconds out.
You know? And
He didn't even mean that, did he? It was perfect. We love it.
And it was a magnificent experience. And all now is that we've grown from that. We've grown as individuals, we've grown as a team. You know, there's nothing that's going to be changed. Not a thing. Absolutely nothing. So, you know, we give a lot of thanks to the British fans as well, because they really got behind us. I saw some of the people who came up to me in the street saying, "You lot were magnificent," and so on and so on. You know, lines in the camp, we don't get weak, we get deep. And it was brilliant. And it's just a massive promotion for boxing. Boxing as, you know, as a sport in the UK and boxing worldwide. So, you know what I mean? We're ready for the next challenge. We're absolutely ready for the next challenge. In fact, we can't wait.
So Tunde, there's been a lot of positive reaction, as you alluded to. There has been some negative as well. Two key criticisms that I want to just get your take on. One was that Yarde wasn't given enough detailed instruction in the corner. The other, that perhaps he should have been pulled out of the fight a round earlier than when he was knocked out. What do you make of those 2 points?
Well, first of all, as you know, Tunde Ajayi doesn't deal with negativity. I just don't deal with it because I've said it over and over again. Life is polarity. They actually teach this in science. The law of gender. Up, down, left, right, good, bad, positive, negative. And I don't focus on the negative, but I will answer the two questions that you spoke about. The first one was, I think...
Some people were saying he didn't get enough detailed instruction in the corner. It was more motivational than instructional.
I was asked this question on a podcast. I'm not supposed to say it, but I am. Undefeated podcast. plug. They're my guys.
You know Captain's always going to do what he wants. Yeah.
Cut that out, Joe. Just kidding.
And it's like I say, they asked me the same question. And I said, you obviously haven't studied us in the corner. We don't talk. In fact, it was rare, it was actually unique for us to talk and give detailed instruction in the corner. But that was the experience. That's where we all come up together as a team after the fight and said, you know, we lost it. Where we're usually mute in the corner, we got excited, we got overexcited, and that is the experience. That's something that will never happen again. So people need to go and watch the tapes of Tunde Ajayi and Anthony Yarde in the corner. I don't talk. I've said it over and over again. You prepare and revise for the exam, and then you take the exam. There ain't no one in an exam hall telling you what the answers are when you're taking the exam. That's my theory. That's my philosophy. You can't listen. It's a program. Once it's programmed in your mind, you ain't gonna do something new on that night, and that is why I don't talk in the corner. But as I say, on that particular night, we never had the experience. And so where Anthony, look at the fight. Look at Anthony's previous fights. When Anthony gets someone hurt, very calculated, calm. You know why? Because we're calm in the corner. We don't talk. So that's that. So it was one of them things where experience did play a part in that one. And then the second question was pull him out. Listen, I've been with Anthony since Anthony was 19 years old. No one knows Anthony better than me. Sure. The people saying I should have pulled him out, you don't train him. You weren't there 5:30 in the morning all them years ago training him. You ain't going to the corner shop and getting Anthony water when he says, "Unks, get me some water." I'm there. I know him. And this is why I keep telling all you guys, the naysayers, when you're telling me not to be close to Anthony, don't get close to the fighter, I'm saying to you, no. Because guess what? When he's in that fight, I can feel it. It's a relationship. I know what calls to make at what time. And that was it. It was my call. I always put my hands up to everything. This whole team, I take everything. And that's why on my Instagram, Stamina for Sales Instagram, it says, no such thing as bad student, only bad teacher. So give me all the darts you want. I made the call, it was my call, and I put my hands up to it.
What was the reason for the call, I guess, is what people are most curious about. Yes. Did you see something in him where you thought he can still pull this round towards the end of the fight?
Well, that's it. Again, we've all been in the gym. Me and Ade. Anthony has got tremendous powers of recuperation. I think Kovalev stole them on that night.
Come in there. You know what the thing is, what people fail to recognise is that 8th round was a massive round, and it's the round that everyone's talking about. And obviously people have made a lot of comments, captain going, empty the tank. Now, if you look on the flip side, from the opponent's position, now people were saying, oh, captain should have pulled him out of the fight, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And to be honest, we don't mind. It's boxing. You're fans. You're entitled to opinion. But Buddy McGurk, a registered trainer for years, going back to Gatti, Floyd, and so on, he said, if you have another round like that, I'm pulling you out. There was no maybe I'll pull you out or I can consider it. That means he's made a strategic decision because he knows the fighter. There's no better person in boxing. In fact, you might even go and say in life that would know Anthony better than captain. 24 hours a day, they're in contact. And when I mean 24 hours, I mean just consistently. You know, they know each other inside out. And like I said, we're in the gym every day with Anthony, consistent, sparring, pad work, bad work.
We don't spar.
Cat's out the bag.
And we know what he can do. We know what he can do. Yes, as you see in the fight, everyone says there was an element of fatigue that crept in. That's an element of boxing that we ourselves knew that Anthony could deal with. I've seen what this guy can do. I knew what he could do. And yes, there's always that chance Anthony lands a right punch on someone's chin or their body and they're out for the count. Sergey Kovalev said it at the end. And I think there's not been a lot said about that. He said, I won this fight on pure experience. Not skill, not balance, not precision, not even a game plan. On pure experience. Now, you bring that to any formal arena in society, experience is always going to come out throughout the day, especially when it's over a long period of time. But our education has put us literally right there. So if you add our education with our experience, you know we're looking at, we're not just, it's not just going to be a world title holder, we're going to be a world title team. So that's where we are, man. That's where we are. And I'm telling you, we just can't wait for
Ade Olayinka for Prime Minister.
He should do more interviews, shouldn't he, really?
No. Ade has got his guy, Bilal Ali. He will prove...
He's actually in the background there, yeah.
He will prove...
He won't come.
He will prove the system.
This is
I'm-
Becton 191.
I'm actually not gonna. I'm gonna, for the first time, keep quiet. Ade knows the system. Taught him the system. Bilal has been around me since he was 11 years old, and I'm just gonna. This one I'm not gonna talk, and that's why I say I only talk about who I train. But Ade trains Bilal, and you're gonna see they're not talkers. They're not. Oh, Ade can talk. I think that's because he's Nigerian.
When you bring in facts and stuff like that, I think it's important because people need to know facts. There's theory, there's the practical, and then there's the facts. The facts is we went out to Russia 18 fights as a professional and challenged a world title holder and not only put him to the test, but nearly put him out. Now, the next stage for us now is attaining that. We are at that level. Make no mistake, we are at world title level. And I don't think there's anyone in boxing who's honest with themselves or just general public who think, no, them guys don't deserve to be there.